What is up? It is week 8. It's the Down East Sports College Football Show. He's Paul Phillips. I'm Jacob Miller. And this show is brought to you by ice cold beer and everything that comes along with it. Welcome back.
I heard that.
We appreciate everyone being here on this fine Wednesday evening. We're here every week, 8 o'clock on Wednesdays, talk ECU and all things college football here on the Down East Sports Network. If you're on YouTube,
not a whole lot of ECU.
Yeah, only one ECU segment this week. Unfortunately, it's a bye week. It's a double bye for me. Both my teams are off.
Yeah.
Which the show, I will be doing it from Southwest Florida next week. Maybe special guest. We'll see. We'll see. No promises. Okay. If you're on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. I was going to steal a page out of Brooks Austin's book. If you learn anything about the game of football, if you love the game of football, or if you just genuinely enjoy this show, give us a like, comment, and subscribe. If you're on Twitter, give us a follow. I'm going to need my cat to chill the hell out. Just going ham.
You need to take care of something real quick.
I might. If you're on Twitter, give us a follow, like and retweet the stream. If you're on Twitch, follow us there. I
forgot to
use the chat. It's free reign unless you abuse it, so just don't abuse it.
We can take the chat away, but y'all come
chat away. We'll just take you away.
We can't. We haven't had anyone have to be kicked out of the chat, I don't think. So.
No, not even close. And we had such an active chat last week that we appreciate each and one of you that was involved in the chat last week, and hope to keep it going this week. We appreciate each and every one of you that is watching the show week to week on a weekly basis. But usually you get 2 ECU segments a week. Unfortunately, we're on bye week. So you're only going to get a review, which I'm going to bring this up right now because I think of things and fail to bring them up during the show. If you would like us to do a Sunday review, a short episode, Paul, you don't have to be involved if you don't want to be.
I'd love to be.
But a short review on Sundays, if that would be more beneficial to these viewers, please let us know. More than willing to do that. But anyways, we'll jump into this ECU Tulsa recap as I minimize my screen so I can pull up my notes. ECU 41, Tulsa 27. We were 10 points off. We said they were going to score 31. They scored 41.
Oh, I know. You best believe I got real excited when the score was my exact prediction. Yes. And then I got real scared when it became your exact prediction.
Yeah. Luckily, both of us predicted a win. But I do think there's a few talking points. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately for the viewers, I watched a rare football game sober.
Look at that.
I was not in attendance Thursday night because, I got off my real job late.
I was there.
So I have a pile of notes.
Me and about 17 other people. We were loud and proud, dude.
See, and I didn't want to lead off the show with this because I obviously, like I'm saying, I did not go. I apologize. I'm a proud pirate. I will be there for Charlotte. I promise you. It's on Saturday. Thank God we're back to playing on Saturday.
We're done with Thursdays.
No more Thursday nights.
What a W.
All right. Layla, I love you, cat, but you're about to get kicked out. I think there was enough takeaways from this game, and I could get into every one of my notes, which is almost play-by-play, but I'm going to kind of hit with the heavy hitters. Paul, interrupt me whenever you want.
You got all these notes, and because of that, I don't have much. I'll just reiterate.
Well, I'll roll with my first one right off the get-go, and I can't remember this. I think it was the first drive. This is where I wish I had film to go back and reference things.
Yeah.
Third down, I think it was 3rd and 4. Petaway gets a pass across the middle. It was a crossing route going to the outside. Has a first down. Had it. And I'm all about go make you a play, young man. Go make you a play, young man.
Oh yeah.
And you know, I've been accused of being a I won't say the word on here, but a Brooks Austin blank writer. Whatever, man knows ball. One thing he preaches. One thing he preaches is down and distance. Down distance personnel. Those are his big three. You can take personnel away in the situation. Down and distance. You had a first down. You had it. You were across the line of game. I'll be right back. Just say hi to the people, Layla.
Hi, Layla.
Layla.
We're gonna pause 10 seconds for station identification.
That was
and
easy.
We're back.
You had the first down. Like I said, go make a play, young man. Go make a play, young man. You can't give up the sticks.
No.
You just cannot give up the sticks in that situation. Now, on the flip end of that, and I believe this was the same possession, you punt the ball away, Tulsa muffs it. This is a team that hasn't got a ton of turnovers this year. That was an easy turnover for you to get, and you didn't get it. I mean, the man spit the ball up, and they ended up getting 10 yards off of it.
He was begging for us to take it.
They end up getting 10 yards the other way because of it. Did it hurt us? No. But when you're playing better opponents, and as we've seen, as this team's played a team that's now ranked in the AP top 12, possibly in both of our top 12s.
Definitely in mine.
Those mistakes cost you in big games, and you have a big game in 3 weeks against Memphis. I'm doing my math right.
No.
Bye week Tulsa, Charlotte. 4 weeks.
Bye week.
Yeah,
Memphis.
Temple, Charlotte. Yeah, so 4 weeks. That's things you can't do against a Memphis in this conference, a Tulane in this conference, a Navy, even though we don't play them this year, a USF, even though we don't play them this year, a UTSA, who we do play this year. These stronger teams in the conference, you just can't make those kinds of mistakes. North Texas, to give them a shout.
Yep.
Other things I saw in the first quarter. We talked last week. Are there too many cooks in the kitchen? Are there too many mouths to feed? That Anthony Smith, and I'll bring this back up, the Anthony Smith-Caton Hauser connection was there against Tulsa. And it was there multiple times throughout the game. Love to see it. I thought the passing game was great throughout the game. I actually thought the rushing attack was pretty good for what it's worth.
I thought so too.
On the defensive end of the ball, at least in the first half, I'm kind of bouncing around here. But
you're good.
I feel like we've talked about this against BYU, and we brought it up in the preview at Tulsa. The two places we get killed as a defense is in the flats, which they abused just like Tulane did.
Yeah.
And down the seam. I think there was two massive plays for Tulsa down the seam. And we look to be more of a zone team. I really wish I could actually sit down and watch film so I could be like,
yeah.
And it's still hard to tell what defenses run on film because you don't know their assignments. You don't know how they're coached to play certain things, but you can kind of get a feel. All right, hey, that's man, that's zone.
Anyone that has access to ECU all 22 film and would like to send it our way,
please,
our DM, just launch it our way,
wide open.
We will dissect it.
But I think we've been abused up the seam. You saw that in the first half, and in the second half, they started abusing those flats, which we talked. It's not the greatest corner group we've ever had at ECU.
No.
It's just not, plain and simple. But
solid talent, but
that seems to
not
be kind
to the
of
level
the
that
weak
we
spot
became
right
accustomed
now.
to. Definitely.
Here's one that I can lead into a little bit of discussion. We've seen 4 backs all year. 3 backs, and now we're seeing 4. I do not understand. And I like Montgomery, and I think he should be still included in the rotation. But I think at this point, especially through the last 2 weeks, I don't know how you don't lean on Engelman and
Yeah.
use Gunn as your power back. Because I think they're the two best running backs on the roster right now.
Probably. I mean, you know me, I'm a guy. I don't know if he's quite to the level of.
He's just got that burst, man.
He does. It's just I feel like he could potentially be somewhat easy to figure out if we start like giving him like proper volume, just with the way that we've used him so far. Because I like Parker Jenkins too. What he and TJ Engelman bring as like different faces in the back that can bring different elements to our run game. But obviously, I feel like you got to have Marlon as the power back. But I feel like
your red zone
I feel like
guy.
London Montgomery. It's the problem with it now is, at least in my brain, is that I feel like we could very well hierarchy or just a clear order of who fits in who into what spot on the depth chart and them game in, game out. But since we haven't done that and we've seen every single one of our backs play well in the last few weeks, where do you go from here? Considering all some form and some have proven themselves, to some extent.
I mean, yeah, like you
so
said,
I don't really know what to do.
They've all shown flashes, but I just think that the burst. I think the burst from Engelman is special. Like, I don't think that's a kind of talent, and I'm not going to compare him to other talented like ECU running backs. I'm not even going to compare him on a large scale. But I mean, for lack of a better comparison, he's got that Chris Johnson burst. Is he as fast as Chris Johnson? Obviously not.
No one is.
Is he as fast as Keith Mitchell? No, maybe not. But like he's got that just when he hits the hole, he hits it in a special way. And I think
he's like an electric car. He's like an electric car where when an electric car is stopped at 0 miles per hour, that is when it has torque. So he just like you're saying, he just jumps out the gate basically, and he's just at 10 immediately. And
he's shifty.
Exactly. He can slide.
He's loose. He's got good hips, man. Count the Diddyisms up early in the show. The man's got good hips.
You gotta love when Jacob starts bringing out anatomy.
He's got good hips, man. He's got a good frame. I
hips
really
don't
like
lie.
this
He's
Engelman kid. Shakira.
Hopefully we don't get copyright stricken for that.
Hopefully not. Another big connection to Anthony Smith in the first half. Another thing in the first half that I kind of wanted to point out, a bad hold. I think an unnecessary hold late in the second quarter. Not only cost us 7, but it ended up costing 3 because it was followed by a bad snap.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden you're up 3 scores at the half. The only thing that helped you is that apparently Micah Tease had the wrong uniform on.
Yeah.
He had a Tulsa uniform on, but he might as well have been playing DB for us. Man had 5 drops throughout the game.
Yeah.
But I don't love us not using our timeouts until late in the quarter. I thought we left points on the field in the first half.
Well, I was saying that both during the second quarter and like basically from.
Oh, we're losing Paul. We have lost Paul. But I'm sure he's probably reiterating on the fact that just the game management hasn't looked, I don't want to say on par, but there's room for improvement in the game management side of things going into the third quarter here. Don't love and this we've seen undisciplined play from this ECU team, unfortunately, a majority of the year. But coming out first play of the half, you get a penalty on first down. That's not great. You followed up, though, with just a great block from the entire offensive line, leave a big hole. Yeah, I lost him. I'll invite him back real quick. You end up leaving a big hole for Montgomery, who we're talking about, another just premier back that we have back here. Makes a huge play. I don't remember how long the run was, but makes a huge run to get us on the board in the second half. See if we can get Paul back here. Bear with me. Didn't love that. Johnson's got to have that third down catch there. I thought Hauser threw a dart. He's got to come up with that. I think Hauser's a little guilty of putting a little too much on the ball at times, but I thought that was a very catchable pass that he should have had. Another thing, and this, I don't know if this is ACC officiating. I don't know who to point the finger out at here. But do we not bring the chains out anymore to measure first downs? Is that just not something we do anymore? I thought it was baffling. I thought we got the first down there, and I'm sure most of y'all know what I'm talking about when they don't review it, and then we end up reviewing the fourth down. I don't think – let me get Paul back on here.
There we are.
You back?
Good Lord. Did you even finish? Did you hear what I was saying?
If we can go back. I'm in the third quarter now, but we can go back.
Well, you're good. I was kind of talking about basically the quarter and throughout the rest of the game, how it was basically just the Ruffin McNeil School of Clock Management is what I was saying the whole time.
Yes,
basically. But
which I don't think has been a problem for us this year. But I mean, come on.
Sorry, I'm frazzled right now.
Yeah, I see that.
It caught me hard.
Where I kind of left us off though, I was talking about the third down run. I think it was 3rd and 2. I think the crowd thought we picked it up. I thought myself at home, I thought we picked up that third down. It doesn't get a review. I was baffled. Do we not bring chains out anymore? Is that?
Apparently not.
I mean, they're just looking at the sideline going, not a first down.
To be fair, not a single person on that crew came close to doing their job at all. It was one of the most
poorly officiated games I've ever seen.
Every time we played Tulsa, usually it was just an at Tulsa thing. Apparently, it's come to Greenville now. It's just a circus every year. No one knows what to do.
Yeah.
Sorry, go for it.
And then on the fourth down, they review it, and they still don't bring the chains out.
Yeah.
I think he was short on fourth down for what it's worth. I feel like he's still
third down. Exactly. I think you still got to look at it though. But I mean, if they weren't going to look at it on third down, why were they going to fourth?
This is another play that I kind of wrote down in the third quarter that I wish I could pull up the film and show you guys. And I can't. I want to say it was a third down conversion for Tulsa, and you watch the linebacker and the boundary side corner cover this hook while the running back, I believe, goes on a wheel. Ends up to. Oh no, it was the tight end. It was on 4th and 4. I did write down the down and distance. Foley, who killed us all game. He was one of Tulsa's best players. The tight end had a great day. Has had a good year. He's their leading receiver as far as I know. You end up having both guys get sucked in on this hook route by the receiver there on the boundary side, and he just goes right up the field. Just wide open, big chunk, big explosive play. That's just things you're going to have to clean up, and then I think on the next play he ended up scoring.
I think so, yeah.
Kind of getting us into the fourth quarter here. Things I've said on this show before. Hauser, when he has time, I think actually reads the field quite well.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even think it's like, oh, well, he can get to the second progression. Screw that. Man can get to the third and can get to the third to a check down. I mean, depending on what the scheme is, say it's a flood look, because we love running flood here at ECU for whatever reason. We run it about 5-6 times a game. All right, fly's not open. All right, let's look at the out. That ain't it. All right, we got the flat. Oh no, corner came down. Boom, dump it off to the running back. He's pretty cerebral when he has time. It's just a matter of getting him time.
Yeah, which has been a very inconsistent issue with this team all season.
Yeah. What did you think of the Winston Wright package in the fourth quarter?
Winston Wright.
Or Winston, God, I've done that 2 times this year.
Or are you talking about Mike Wright?
Mike Wright. Mike
Okay.
Wright. I've done that 2 times this year. And he's paused again. Homie is struggling. I'll tell you my take. I didn't think it was great. I thought his package against Tulsa was much better. I still would like to see more of him. I think you can use him in different situations. In the fourth quarter, another bad penalty on the defense, whatever, things to clean up. Pass rush had some big moments in the fourth quarter. I thought that was good. That fumble wasn't a fumble. I think we all know that. Had a great game. Had a great running game, I think, especially in the second half. Tried to ice the game, but the refs were doing everything they could to make that game take as long as humanly possible. And then they get the ball back. Drop 8. QB had a couple big runs. It's going to happen. I mean, that's just the quarterback taking what's given to him there. You drop 8 guys, the middle of the field's going to be open. You're only rushing 3. It is what it is. But I think all in all, there's some good takeaways from ECU this year. You saw a lot this game. I think you saw a lot more from the offense this game against Tulsa that we've been wanting to see all year. I think this is the first game that the offense has played all 4 quarters. Compared to just playing a half or maybe 3. And I think if this team not necessarily played the game they played against Tulsa, but at least keeps the consistency on offense the way they did, you probably catch a win against NC State. You probably catch the win against Tulane. The defense on the other end, I left this game unimpressed with our defense. That's the first time I think I can say this all year that the defense didn't have that get to the ball energy I think they've had most of the season. And we could sit here and point out the weaknesses left and right with this defense. Hey, they're not great in the boundary. They're, not great cover guys. You can't leave them with man coverage. Let's see if I can get them back. You're having to run a lot of zones because of this weakness at the corner spot, but the run defense has been good. It wasn't great against Tulsa, and you're still getting beat on the same plays, whether it be up the seam or to the boundary. And at some point that's got to get cleaned up as we get into the meat of the schedule. I know you're in and out right now, but I'm keeping going.
I'm following where you're at the moment. So we're good.
But as I was saying while you're away, I think this is the first game we've played all year where we played 4 quarters of offense.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It was a joy to see.
And I also mentioned, I think this is the first game I'm leaving where I'm a little disappointed in our defense.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the ECU game in a nutshell. We've done about 15 minutes on it. I feel like that's pretty decent.
Yep.
Especially with just a wild week 8 of college football. I know there was a national show that the 2 of us listened to that said Florida would lose to Mississippi State, and this would be the game that Billy Napier gets fired. Well, they win, and he still gets fired. I don't know what's next for Florida. I just don't.
I mean, they're going to call Lane.
And they already have. They called Marcus Freeman, and apparently he said no, which, shocker.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all.
I mean, Penn State thinks they're going to get him too. He ain't going anywhere.
No. If he were ever, I think it would be Ohio State, and that's it.
Yeah, and that job ain't opening up. So
exactly. I feel like you have to talk to Franklin just because you have to. Outside, I feel like you start diving into the 5, maybe an Alex Golish at USF, or
I just don't know if you're Florida if you can go
maybe
down that route
Summerall.
again.
No, but I mean, like
Maybe.
at this point, what is there to go after aside from James Franklin and maybe Lane Kiffin? I mean, like, obviously, it's not just about coaches that are at small schools or that aren't currently employed. Like we watched USC steal Oklahoma's head coach, and plenty of other instances like that. So, like, I'm not saying any of these are off the table, but it does feel like it's going to come down to maybe eventually having to swing on another coach. And of course, potentially the best fit there is the one they just fired, Dan Mullen.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't.
No, I think if they can pry less miles, Jesus Christ, I'm off today.
Gracious.
I'm off today. If they can pry Lane Kiffin away from Ole Miss, which I do not think they can do, I don't think the public is as aware of how much money Ole Miss has.
Which, to be fair, everyone's got money, but
not Ole Miss money. That school's got a lot more money than people think they do.
Oh no, trust me, I've seen that place with my own 2 eyes. You can tell how much money around that.
I think Lane's the perfect fit. I think he does everything you want him to do. He's got, to compare to another Florida coach, he's got a Steve Spurrier style offense.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might score 30 on him, but he's going to hang 60 on you. I mean, I think he's everything they need. I just don't think they can pry him away from Ole Miss. I think Florida's in a tough spot right now in a deep conference. They're just in a very good recruiting state. But I don't even know if they have the facilities to, and I know they've upgraded facilities. I think since Dan left, that was a big riff with Dan and the Florida boosters, but I just don't know if they can do it. Let's see if we can get Paul back. Bear with me here. This is not our highest production show. Well, I'll skip one thing and wait on Paul to get back, but obviously got the Georgia cap on, but a thriller in Athens. I mean, just an absolute chess match. I think you have two of the smartest minds on each side of the ball, whether, Lane Kiffin on offense, Kirby Smart on defense, which this Georgia defense ain't nothing to write home about. But I think my three biggest takeaways from the game is, I think Gunnar Stockton's the real freaking deal. This kid in big moments has come back against Tennessee with a 4th down pass to get the lead, or to, send it to overtime. Come back against Alabama. And then he does it again down multiple scores against Ole Miss. Just as spectacular. The game he had as many touchdowns as he had incompletion. He had 5 incompletions on the day. I think he was 26 for 31 passing. Had 5 touchdowns. And on the other end of the ball, that Jazz Chandler's kid, God, he can play, man. He is such a dynamic runner. I think when you get in the red zone, that is a darn near impossible team to stop. He's just uber talented, and I think this kid's got everything going forward for him. But I don't know if it's Ole Miss ran out of plays or Georgia had more plays, but that ended up kind of being the nail in the coffin for Ole Miss as Georgia rallies to beat them in the 4th quarter and didn't stop them till the 4th quarter. Thought it was a great football game. I said it last week that I thought Ole Miss was somewhat of a fraud. What's that say about Georgia beating them in a close game? I think Georgia is fraudulent. That defense is beyond suspect. But I think, and I've heard on that, it's a one-dimensional offense. Georgia can run the ball with anybody. They had 7 yards a carry against Alabama. I think Gunner is good. I still don't know how good this Georgia team is. I just don't. I think they have a big matchup coming off the bye with a hungry Florida team with a new coach, and I guess fighting for their jobs, for lack of a better term. I think Ole Miss is actually in a great spot. I really don't know what they have coming down the stretch. I think they play LSU. I think they avoid Texas, but I think Ole Miss is in a favorable spot to sneak into the playoffs still. Bama keeps rolling. They just keep getting it done. It's what they do. I've kind of said it a few times on here. I just think Alabama got looked over after that Florida State loss, and if you look from week 1 till now, it's a completely different football team. If you look from week 2 to now, that team gets better and better every week. I think that's 5 straight ranked wins for them. I mean, a road win against Georgia. They beat Missouri at Missouri. They beat Vanderbilt. Now they get Tennessee at home. And I think that interception at the end of the half was a huge swing of momentum. I think Tennessee was still in the game, but I think that just took all the wind out of their sails. And Bama just keeps it rolling. I'm trying to save some of this to see if Paul is going to get back in here. If not, you're going to have to deal with me. Not as fun. But Memphis loses to coachless UAB. Not what I thought to see from a team that Paul and I had thought highly of. Maybe even making it as a conference contender. It's great for ECU if you're an ECU fan. Hey!
I relocated.
I saved a couple segments. Just to let you know. I went through Napier, talked about the Georgia game, talked about Alabama game, talking about Memphis losing to Tulane right now.
UAB.
Or UAB. Jesus.
Yeah, that was wild. I watched the end of that game. I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
A coachless UAB.
Yeah, they had just fired Trent Dilfer on what, Sunday?
Yeah, and you have them in the conference championship, right?
My original pick was USF Memphis. Yeah,
Memphis. And as we were talking last week, how I think ECU kind of still controls their own destiny in this conference a little bit. That is a great thing.
Yeah,
the Pirates
definitely.
You beat them at home now. You're not in the driver's seat.
But you got a chance.
One step closer. You are one slip up closer from if USF beats Tulane and Tulane drops another game, all of a sudden you're playing USF in Tampa.
Yep.
Just got to keep, as my boy Kirby says, got to keep chopping wood. Just got to keep chopping wood. I'll do one more news thing before we kind of get into more of a talking point. But I think there was big news out of the Big 12 this week. I know the Texas Tech quarterback, I don't think played. I didn't watch the game, being completely honest. Don't think the Texas Tech starter played.
No, he did not.
At quarterback, they end up losing to Arizona State. Close ball game.
Yeah, it was a very good game. I watched a little bit of it.
I tried not to punish Texas Tech too much in my top 12, but they ended up getting punished pretty bad.
They fell out for me, but
I kept them
not by any of their own doing.
I kept them in, but that's just because I don't love the top 12 right now.
Oh, I don't either. It's stinky.
There's a lot of teams. I'm just like, you have a hole. That's a Red Wings goal, by the way. JT Confer, how about that?
That reminds me, I got to check in on the Celtics.
But BYU keeps it rolling.
How about them?
Kind of takes your Utes out of contention in that conference, but
yeah, which is a shame.
But big win for BYU against Utah. Kind of last talking point I have on week 8. Looking into the buyout, I don't really think it's possible. Take money out of the factor here. Should Brian Kelly get fired?
Immediately, no. At the end of the season, probably. He's never been a fit there at any, in any capacity. He can't seem to get them past a certain threshold, which is like 9 wins, which at LSU, I mean,
It's
that's what
unacceptable.
they do a lot of the time is just win 9 games. But also, that's
You sprinkle some natties in between there.
exactly. That's a program that's very used to winning national championships this century. So I feel like he's like, whether it's a firing or a mutually parting
Parting of the
ways,
yeah.
whatever it may be, I just don't think. Actually, it's not even I don't think. I know he's not the guy, and that entire fan base knows it. I think that team knows it. That program knows it. The athletic department knows it.
I think I looked his buyout's like 56 mil.
It's gigantic.
Hell of money.
It would be like the second or third biggest buyout in college football history, I think, because I think Napier was second, right?
I don't know.
Or was it? No, was Franklin second?
It might have been Franklin, and I'm sure Jimbo's first.
Oh, it's Jimbo. Yeah, like 75 million. Is that what it was?
Something. I thought it was 81. Yeah,
I think it was in the 70s.
A gross number.
Gigantic to go not coach.
Yeah, to not do anything.
Exactly.
I just, not to keep bringing up Brooks Austin, I thought he had one of the tweets of the week when he said, "I think Brian Kelly should get fired right now because a literal swamp person and a grass eater won a national championship there." I think Brian Kelly is a top 10 coach in college football.
He's a great coach.
I think he's a douchebag, but
absolutely. He's just not. He's not the coach for LSU.
And you said it earlier. He never fit.
No,
he was never a fit. The fan base didn't want him there from the jump.
From the opening press conference when he's
the fake Southern
cosplaying as a Southerner, like that was just. It was weird from the get-go.
Just it's not been good at LSU. There's no run. To his credit, the defense has been the problem since he's been there. They've got a good defense. They've got a good quarterback. They can't run the football. They can't block. And when they face opponents with similar talent, they just don't look up to snuff. I mean, it's an interesting time in college football right now.
What's funny is the way that their kind of their whole shtick since he got there has been like the best offense in the country, and then absolutely zero defense to back it up. Well, now you look, that's a nasty defense, and the offense can't move the ball. Or they can move it sometimes, just they can't score.
17 points against Vanderbilt,
something like that. Yeah, I think so.
I mean, and I get Vandy's a good football team.
They are.
Still didn't crack my top 12.
They just barely did for me, which we'll get to that. But
which, I mean, we can jump straight into that. I don't really have much on week 8 unless you do.
I don't. Do you want to do top 12 first or the week 9 slate first?
Let's do top 12.
Word.
I'll hit us off here. Number 1, I think it's no surprise, Ohio State. Number 2, up 2 spots from last week. I think they continue to impress, and until proven otherwise, I'm going to continue to bank on this team. Indiana is my new number 2 in the country.
That's a damn good football team.
It's just, they're good. I mean,
they're straight up good. This is not a fairy tale like last year.
No,
like we thought last year was.
They're playing good schools and drumming them, and it's just a good football team. And I really hope they stand pat, and I can't wait to see them play Ohio State and Indianapolis.
I can't wait for their matchup this week, which we'll get to when we talk about the slate. But
which I also now realize that 4 out of my 5 picks are games we're talking about.
Really?
Oh yeah. I didn't mean to do that, but I did.
I got a whole 0 of them, I think. Actually, no, I got one.
Number 3, staying in the same spot, I got Texas A&M. That defense is becoming more and more suspect, and that is going to keep dropping them if it continues. I think they can score on anyone in the country.
Yep.
Marcus Reed is legit.
Marcel,
again, not my greatest show.
Hey, that's what I'm here for when I'm actually here.
That's been the problem, is I've had to talk by myself for about 5 minutes.
There's no telling what you said when I was gone.
Oh God, We kept the swearing down at least.
That's good.
Number 4, up 3 spots from last week. I think the one team in the Southeastern Conference that can give Texas A&M as many fits as any other team in this nation, it's Alabama. Ty Simpson's the real deal, man. He is. That defense is starting to figure it out. They now have a bit of a rushing attack. They fixed their rush defense, which I brought up earlier. Georgia killed them on the ground. I think they've been killed a couple times on the ground this year, obviously against Florida State, but they've seemed to clean that up, and I've really, really loved what I've seen out of Alabama the last 4 weeks. Number 5, up 5 spots, actually, and I said this last week. My top 12 is going to start looking more and more what I think the playoff's going to look like. Number 5, I got Oregon.
Yep.
I think they're the best one-loss team in the country.
Definitely.
Number 6, I got my Dogs. This is the worst Georgia defense I've seen in my lifetime. It's disgusting. It's awful. Gunnar Stockton is a gamer.
Oh, yeah.
He is a gamer. I think at some point this year, they might get down too much for him to keep him back in it. But right now, I don't know how you deny Gunnar Stockton and Georgia. I think they are clearly a top 10 team in this country. Are they 6? Maybe not. Might be my bias. Whatever. Number 7, I got Georgia Tech. And it's more, and Georgia Tech's been in front of Georgia almost all year for me. They just don't impress. They win. It's kind of similar to Georgia. They win, and they win gutsy.
Yep.
And I love what I see from Haynes King, and I love what I see from that Georgia Tech offense. But it's just, until you start handling these teams you should be handling, you're going to kind of be stuck in this little middle spot. Number 8, I'm not going to. Oh, I wrote them down twice. There's going to be a new 12. I want them at number 8.
Okay.
I didn't realize I wrote them down twice. Texas Tech. I'm not going to punish them too much for having a quarterback out, losing a close game to, I think, a talented Arizona State team.
Yep.
I think they're still in the driver's seat in that conference. I don't think they have much to worry about. I still like Texas Tech. I think that's a good football team. Number 9, up 3 spots from last week, I got Notre Dame. Keep telling you, they're going to be in the playoffs. And they played a physical football game against USC and handled business. They're starting to figure it out. Number 10, an opponent that ECU has already played this year, BYU. Kind of similar to what I said to Ole Miss last year. I think BYU is a massive fraud. Massive.
Yep.
But you're undefeated.
At the same time, they just like Georgia Tech, they just keep winning ball games.
They keep winning ball games. And at some point, you can't punish a team for not winning pretty if they're winning games.
I don't have them on as high a fraud watch as you do.
Number 11, and I brought this up when I was talking about the Georgia game. My biggest fraud, at least in the Southeastern Conference right now that I think Missouri's done and dealt with. Ole Miss, I got them at 11. I can sit here and blow smoke up their quarterback's butt all day. I mean, that kid is legit.
I love Trinidad.
I just don't know. Like, something's not right in the water there for me. And then rounding up, I'll put Vandy at 12.
There you go.
Until proven otherwise. I guess it's Vandy. I don't really believe in that team. Believe in them. I'm going to stop myself. We'll get to that shortly.
Okay.
But yeah, Vanderbilt. So yeah, just to quickly run back through it. Ohio State 1, Indiana 2, A&M 3, Bama 4, Oregon 5, Georgia 6, Georgia Tech 7, 8, Texas Tech, number 9, Notre Dame, 10, BYU, 11, Ole Miss, and number 12, Vandy. There's no SEC bias here. What you got, Paul?
Well, first, Tyler's in the chat. He said, is there a better backfield than the boys at Notre Dame? I don't think so. Jeremiah Love.
Probably not.
Jeremiah Love might be the best running back in the country. It's either him or Ahmad Hardy at Mizzou. I think those are your 2 best backs in the country.
Yeah. Who's the cat at God, I'm drawing a blank right now. There's a Big Ten running back that's killing it right now, and I just can't think of his name.
I should know.
It's not important.
I should know who you're talking. Well, and I mean, Penn State's backfield is good too. So
It's good, yeah.
they haven't been utilized properly, I don't think. But if I was to, um, if I was to pick a team out of the country right now that I'd say has the best backfield, I would absolutely go with Notre Dame. Strictly based on Jeremiah Love alone, honestly.
I think I'd happen to agree with you there.
Getting to my top 12. So our top fives are exactly the same, and we have 6 and 7 flipped. So, and then it gets a little wild after that. But basically, just to kind of reiterate what Jacob was talking about, number 1, I think it's very clear. Ohio State is the best team in the country. Again, until proven otherwise. And Indiana, I think, is the team that's going to be playing them for the Big Ten title. That is a for real football team, and they are fun to watch while they're doing it too. I think Fernando Mendoza probably the best quarterback prospect for the draft.
He should be the first guy off the board as of right now.
And that's another bit of news we didn't touch on. Signed Kurt Signetti to a massive extension.
Massive deal, yeah. God, I didn't even bring up that Miami lost to Louisville.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about it. But that'll be reflected here in my rankings here in a minute.
They're not in my top 12.
I know they're in mine, but I mean,
they probably should have been 12, but whatever.
Number 3, A&M. Again, everything you said. That offense is prolific. Defense is a game MK, but they score like it's their job. Which is funny because it is, because they're getting paid now. Number 4, like you said, again, Alabama. I think those are probably, aside from maybe a push from Georgia or hell even Vandy if they squeak in. Right now, I'd say your SEC championship is A&M and Bama.
A&M, Alabama, yeah.
Number 5, I got the Ducks. Like you said, I think they're absolutely the best one-loss team in the country. Outside of the one game against literally the team that we have ranked at number 2, they have looked incredible. So that rounds out the top 5. I got Georgia Tech at 6 and Georgia at 7. That's mainly because for this whole time, I've had Georgia Tech ranked just above Georgia. And so I don't think either one did much to jump the other. Because, I mean, Georgia Tech beat a kind of weird but solid Duke team. Like that's a pretty good football team. That's a team in the top part of the ACC. They're just a really weird football team. And then obviously what Georgia did to Ole Miss. So we have the same top 7. It's just those last 2 are flipped. Number 8 is where I have Miami. I think that's a good Louisville team, and I'm not going to dock Miami too much for losing that. I think Louisville is definitely another one of those weird ACC teams, but I'd say that they're a better team than Duke is. So I didn't feel like punishing Miami that hard. No. Considering I had them at number 2, I believe. Number 9 is where I have Ole Miss, again, just because of that offense, basically, for the most part. Like, I just think that a lot of it's just fun factor for me, and the fact that I had them ranked higher as well. But I like them at 9. BYU at 10, just like you had. Like I said, I'm not as high on them being frauds as you are. I think they definitely could be fraudulent, but again, all they do is win games. And so I'm not going to punish a team because of what I might think happened to them later in the season. Number 11, I got Vandy. Again, for reasons we already stated, and then 12 is where I have Notre Dame. I agree with you that they're probably a playoff team. I still can't get their 0-2 start out of my head, but it also, looking back on it, was not near as bad as it may have seemed. So yeah, give me Notre Dame at 12. That's it for me.
So that will be our top 12s, and we'll get right into not the greatest slate of all time, but
which means this is going to be a fantastic weekend of college
usually
football.
Is what it means. But we'll get into some of our favorite games of the week, leading off with Ole Miss traveling to Norman, Oklahoma to take on the Sooners. The Sooners, 5.5-point favorites. At home, 54.5 is your total. I will not be making a pick here. But,
Okay.
I think this is two SEC teams that have a lot to prove right now as Buffalo makes it a 1-1 game.
Who was it?
I think it was Tage. 17. Who is that? I have no idea.
17?
Oh, Zucker. But I think this is, I don't want to say similar to the Georgia game because the Georgia defense hasn't been good all year, but I think Lane's kind of back in this chess match. You got a really good Venables defense versus a very, very talented Ole Miss offense. Very much looking forward to this noon kick, but what do you got here?
That's the thing, is I know you're going to get back to this game in a minute. I stayed so far away from this game from that standpoint. I have no clue what to think about this game. Number one, you got Oklahoma, who had a very tough loss to Texas, but then figured it all out against South Carolina, and looked really good last weekend. And then an Ole Miss team that has looked really good all season and had a close game against Georgia. And we still don't, I guess, know the full health of John Mateer, but he looked damn good last weekend. And then, that's a pissed off Ole Miss team after what happened last weekend, and they get another ranked opponent. It's another road game. I think for the most part they handled themselves decently well at Georgia, just given that environment and all that.
Hell, they were in that game for 3.5 quarters.
Oh, I know. It's just a lot of what's in my brain is how they didn't handle it well at the end.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like if I had to, this is one of those where I feel obligated to just give a field goal to the home team. But the more I think about it, the more I like Ole Miss in this spot. But give me Oklahoma by a field goal.
All right. Back into our conference here. What would have been a way bigger game if Memphis could beat UAB.
Hey, this is still, honestly, this game has more
still a
implications
massive game.
now.
Still a massive game.
Memphis goes and wins this game now. Oh, my goodness.
It's wide open. I mean, it's literally wide open. But USF travels to Memphis. USF 4.5 point favorite. 62.5 is your total.
I saw that number.
This is the one game I did not pick out of our slate. Yeah, it's the one game I didn't pick out of our slate. How did I pick 4 games out of our slate? That's impressively bad. I love USF in the spot.
I do too.
And I think 4.5, you're sitting there like, all right, Memphis is coming off a loss. They got to get off the mat. They're at home. I think everything is telling you Memphis, 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 Memphis. So you go with the Bulls.
Yeah.
It's a little reverse psychology. I think the Bulls are the play here. I think the Bulls win this game. I think they're just a little more talented than Memphis is, and they frankly have shown it throughout the year. If it wasn't for an utter collapse from Arkansas, Memphis has another loss. I mean,
yep.
So I think USF's the better team here, and I'm going to roll with the better team.
I tend to agree. I feel like this is going to be another very close game. I think that UAB game for Memphis last week was an absolute fluke. But in that same vein, I think USF is just simply a better football team, just from a talent standpoint. These are two very good coaches. But USF we haven't seen falter to the level that Memphis has. So
yeah,
give me the Bulls.
Back into the Southeastern Conference here. I want to say this is a 3:30 kick.
I believe so.
Missouri travels to Nash Vegas, taking on the Commodores. Commodores 2.5 point favorites. 52.5 is your total. I will not be giving a pick for the next 3 games. But I think this is a big spot for both of these teams. Each of them, I believe, with 1 loss in conference to the same exact team, actually.
Yep.
So it's kind of, what do you like more here? Do you believe more in Pavia, or do you believe more in Drink? I mean, and what he's got going with who's the Penn State transfer?
Bo
Can't think of his
Prabula.
name. Yeah, with Bo Prabula. I'm curious what you think. I mean, honestly.
I want to say Vandy here just because, I mean, it's another – I feel like it's a cop-out because I do this a lot, but just given the fact that they're at home and you think it's not – this is no discredit towards Mizzou as a fan base or a program or anything. It's not exactly how Vandy's used to looking when Alabama or Georgia or Tennessee comes to town. Even against LSU, Vandy had that place packed. I think this is turning into a sick environment and one of the more underrated ones in college football as far as like newfound passionate environments go.
Yeah.
And so I think that's going to make it tough for Mizzou. I think Vandy just has the better buy-in to what they're doing right now. And I feel like that is ultimately going to carry them over the top. Again, I think it's going to be another tight game.
I think it's going to be a really good game.
The more I lean Vandy makes me kind of want to say Mizzou, but I'm gonna stick to it. I'm gonna say Vandy in a close
one. Hop into the Big Ten here. Illinois is traveling to Washington. Washington with 2 losses, one to Ohio State and now one to Michigan. Did not look great against Michigan last week, but they are a 4.5-point favorite. 54.5 is your total. These are 2 teams I think you've been kind of up on all year. So again, very intrigued to see what you think of this game.
Well, so I feel like in a nutshell, I've been higher on Washington this season, and they're the home team.
Yeah.
That leads me to say I'd probably lean Washington here. I feel like Illinois, not even that they haven't shown me enough, because I know they're a good football team, but they've shown me almost too much in the other way to where I've seen what they look like when they're not exactly looking like the great football team I think they can be. Give me Washington here. You know, I'm a Damon Williams guy. I think this could be a statement game for him. Again, I love what Illinois is doing. I just think Washington is probably the more polished football team as we sit here in Week 9.
I'm trying to bite my tongue so hard right now.
We'll get to it.
We're so close. BYU at Iowa State. Believe it or not, Iowa State's the 2.5-point favorite here. 59.5 is your total.
I'm going to get to that.
Oh, so you do have one.
No, that's what I said. This is the one that I had.
This is the one you have.
So we can hold off on that one for a minute.
We can hold off on this one. I think this is a very intriguing football game.
Incredible.
Especially from a gambling perspective. I'm going to end up, because of this game, I'm going to have an oxymoron in my gambling picks, but hopefully it all rounds out. You're leader in the clubhouse with the picks, buddy, shooting 50% right now.
Well, before we get to that, there is one more game I want to talk about.
Holler at me.
I believe the number is 25.5. But what if UCLA goes to Bloomington and beats Indiana?
I did see that.
What if they go beat Indiana?
Then we're in utter chaos.
This is the most fun football team in the country. They are awesome. And every game they play, whether it's Penn State or it's Maryland or whoever else they're playing, every game is just a sight to behold because it's close every time, but they figure out ways to win. Skipper, a head coach, is doing a fantastic job, not to mention, obviously, my guy, Jerry Neuheisel at OC. I love this UCLA team, and I thought they were going to end up being the worst team in the country at one point this season, but damn, they have figured something out.
Yeah, it's an intriguing spot.
Indiana's going to win this game.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if it's even outside the number. It wouldn't surprise me if Indiana goes and wins by 40-something. At the same time, it wouldn't surprise me if this is a 1 or 2 score game coming down the stretch in the fourth quarter.
Which I don't know how I did. Oh, no, I did pick it. It's my one game. Never mind. We'll get to it. I thought we weren't going to get to it, but we'll get to it.
Okay.
It's on my picks.
I'm excited to hear. We'll get into my picks. I went 2-3 last week. I'm sitting at an even 20-20 right now on the season, so I've kind of cooled off a little bit.
Must be nice.
To be fair, very easily could have gone 4-1 last week. There were 2 of my picks. I lost by half a point. So
at least someone didn't kick a meaningless field goal to make it 1-4. Thanks, Michigan State.
yeah. Anyways, tomorrow night, in the lovely city of Concord, North Carolina, the North Texas. Yeah, I mean that sincerely. I have a whole bunch of.
I looked at the number and I'm like, God, Charlotte's so bad, but that's so many points.
This is not me dumping on Concord, North Carolina. I have a bunch of family that lives there, and I love that place to death. I was baptized in Concord. That being said, the football team that they house that goes by a name of another city, that being the University of North Carolina at Charlotte, 26.5-point home dog to the North Texas Mean Green. Give me North Texas minus 26.5 tomorrow night in Concord or Newell, wherever Charlotte is. Moving right along, big rivalry game, Kansas State. This game is in Lawrence at Kansas, and they're a 2.5-point favorite. Give me Kansas by a field goal. This Kansas State team is something else.
It's
and I do not mean that as a compliment.
It's not pretty.
Which Kansas has been underwhelming this year given their expectations, I feel like. But at the same time, I think they can go out on their home field and beat their rival by a field goal. Should I dive into BYU Iowa State now, or should I save that one?
That's up to you, brother.
I'll that'll be my last one, and then we can go right into it for yours. How about that?
All right, sounds good.
Next up is Tennessee at Kentucky. Only 7.5.
Yeah.
Give me Tennessee by probably at least 2 touchdowns.
Hey, they did baptize. You're not a true SEC team till you go into Lexington and win a game you should win by 2 scores in overtime.
That's
welcome to the SEC, Texas.
But then again, apparently, according to Vegas, they're only supposed to win this game by 1 score, which means they're going to go win it by 3. So 3 scores, that is, not points. Give me Tennessee there minus 7.5 in Lexington, and then this game I feel like is very interesting. Houston is a 7.5-point dog in Tempe against the Sun Devils. I like Houston here to keep it within a score. I think like Arizona State, obviously very talented team, solid team that's going to be in the race for the Big 12 for the rest of the season. I think Houston will be too. Yeah. They've got the one loss to who was it, Texas Tech?
I believe so.
That they looked a little shaky in, and hold on, am I forgetting something? One second. Come on. No. I was just making sure they hadn't lost again, but no, because they almost lost to Arizona.
Yeah,
but they didn't. And that's a frisky Arizona team too. I think they're going to beat both teams in that state. I think they're going to beat. They won that game. I think they're going to cover this game against another Arizona team.
Yeah,
that was a horrible way to do that. Give me Houston plus 7.5, and now I'll finally shut up. And if you want to take the reins on BYU Iowa State here, I'll jump in.
I'll let you lead it off, man. You've been kind of on the Big 12 beat.
That's fine. Iowa State, decent football team. They haven't been
disappointing at times.
Definitely disappointing. I mean, they have talent. They haven't exactly put it to good use, I'd say, this season for the most part. Why are they a 2.5-point favorite in this game?
It's really confusing as Buffalo goes up 2-1. Jesus Christ.
Let me guess, Tuck.
I don't even know. I just kind of saw it out of the corner of my eye.
All right.
But yeah, definitely an Iowa State team that you've seen be good at times. A very, very physical football team. Very physical football team. BYU is pretty freaking physical.
There's something.
But yeah, which way are you leaning here?
I took BYU outright.
You took BYU outright.
I think BYU wins this game. Could be convincingly.
Well,
I don't love this Iowa State team.
This is where my oxymoron will make more sense later, I think.
Bartending real quick. Go for it.
You're good. Jumping into my picks here. Let me get a timestamp here. I am also on BYU. I'm not taking them outright. I will take the points.
Yeah. That was my original pick.
Yeah, I think they win this game. I think when you have this is the oxymoron. I'll get into the other one next. But yeah, I don't see how Iowa State's a favorite in this game. What have they done in the last 3 weeks to impress? That last couple, I mean, they win games close. It's what they do, and I guess BYU's done kind of more of the same. But I just like BYU in the spot. I like Bear Bachmeier a little more than I like
Sam Leavitt.
Not Sam Leavitt. It's Iowa State, not Arizona
State. I
was
State. Looking at Arizona State on here. My bad.
Reddick. No,
Rocco Becht.
Rocco Becht. I like him more than I like Rocco. Then I'll get into my oxymoron statement. And this kind of goes back to Georgia Ole Miss last week. I saw this after we did our show and this might only be a top 10 thing, but a higher ranked top 10 team on the road being an underdog is like 1-16.
Really?
I don't know if that applies going down to top 25, but Illinois is an underdog at home. Or no, going to Washington or at Washington.
It's at Washington.
That's just screaming, take the 4.5. Take Washington. I call me dumb, and I'm doing the exact opposite with BYU. I mean, that's everything is telling you to take Iowa State. I just think BYU's better. I think Washington's a little better than Illinois right now. I don't like what I've seen from Illinois' defense. This isn't your typical Brett Bielema team,
no,
so to speak. I think Washington can take the air out of the ball in this game and just kind of control the line of scrimmages on both sides and walk away with a 7-point victory.
I agree. That is a underrated, very intimidating environment too.
Yeah. Oh, that is not an easy place to play
at all.
You're going halfway across the country. We got BYU plus 2.5. We'll take Washington minus 4.5. Yeah, am I low on this team? Yes. But God bless with what I've seen from Mateer after the injury. And yeah, they beat South Carolina this week. And I hate to break it to you, Paul. South Carolina ain't no damn good.
No, they stink.
They not.
Trust me.
So
I've watched a lot of that.
24-7?
It's 26-7. I think they had a safety.
Great. Cool. That's all you could do against South Carolina? With no pass rush, no defense to speak of. That offense has looked anemic at times. That's all you can do, Oklahoma? Give me Ole Miss, who can score 40 on anyone in this country.
Yep.
Give me Ole Miss plus the 4.5. And I've kind of said this the last couple of weeks. I think Missouri's one of the most fraudulent teams in the Southeastern Conference. I don't think Vanderbilt's everything to write home about, but I think Vanderbilt's better than Missouri. I like Pavia in big spots. He's another gamer that just gets it done. I like Vandy minus the 2.5 here. And then to close it out, the game that I was going to bring up that I didn't, that we almost put on the slate. LSU's only a 2.5-point underdog.
I saw that. I hate it.
At home against A&M.
I hate it.
This is usually a tight game. I think LSU's got a talented defense. It hasn't come together at times. They cannot run the ball. They are one-dimensional.
Right.
And A&M can score about any way they want. The Red Wings are about to tie this game up.
There you go.
I love A&M minus 2.5 here. Like I really do.
I do too. The only thing that made me hesitate on it, because I almost put it in here, was the Death Valley night game factor.
Yeah, I mean, it does intimidate me. Don't get me wrong. That's a tough place to play.
There's no telling what could go down, but
Emmett freaking Finney with his 3rd goal of the year.
Good Lord.
But yeah, I love him here. I think A&M's a really talented football team, and I think LSU, the writing's on the wall there.
Oh yeah.
I also didn't bring up the fact that I went 1-4 last week, and I am 12-28 on the year. So do with that information as you like.
12-28.
But no ECU preview this week, and we still had a decently average length show here.
Yeah.
About, I'll call it an hour and 10 minutes because we started a little late today. But close it off with the jersey of the week, and you had a pile to choose from this week because there was a lot of stuff that came out, and usually a team whose jerseys I don't love, but hey man, when they rock one of my favorite bands, I'm all about it. What you got, Paul?
Well, this was foreshadowing, very much so. I had to rock the LaMichael James should have won the Heisman jersey. The uniform of the week and potential uniform of the year is the Oregon Grateful Ducks jersey. Oh,
so great.
My God. It is gorgeous. It's a bit of a problem that when they officially go on sale, they're going to be $130. So I'm going to refrain from buying one. Damn, I want to. If I can find a mini helmet, though, absolutely, with the dancing ducks on the back.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
The acid ducks.
Exactly. That is absolutely the uniform of the week. And like I said, it's the front runner right now for uniform of the year, in my opinion. Other unis, last night we had the FIU Miami Vice unis, which were sweet. We're getting a Boise State whiteout this weekend, which is super clean. New Mexico bringing out their turquoise throwbacks from the 70s, which are just so cool. I mentioned this game last week because they were released, or this uniform last week because they were released last week. Forgot that they were that they were actually using them this week. The Wyoming Cole blackout uniforms, I think they're sweet. And then in the same vein with blackouts, Delaware pulling out a blackout.
Yeah, those were sweet.
The black and white winged helmet is just so good. And I think that's going on right now, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
Either ESPN or ESPN2, I assume you can go check those out. Some other helmets tonight. Got an FCS helmet in here. South Dakota rocking some sweet military appreciation helmets this week. And then Louisville going blackout unis, but their helmet has the cardinal like toting a rock, and it's so good. Outside of that, I don't have a whole lot. Uniform matchup of the week. This is for the first time on this show. Our uniform matchup of the week is not even football. Coming to you tomorrow night.
Delaware up 3, by the way.
There you go. Second week in a row where Delaware's been playing at the time we do this, at least the second week. I was watching them last week, though. But again, first time in the history of the show where the uniform matchup of the week is not football related. When the Colorado Nordiques take on the Carolina Whalers tomorrow night, that is your uniform matchup of the week. Take me back to the 80s.
Hey, I might be terrible at football gambling. I've made one hockey bet all year. The Canes ain't played a soul till they played the Vegas Golden Knights. You want to know who had the Vegas Golden Knights -1.5?
Well, we were always going to lose that game.
And you're going to lose to Colorado.
We don't have Goss's Bear, which sucks.
I know, he's on my fantasy team.
Yeah. We're missing a couple pieces right now.
Hockey preview coming soon.
Maybe we'll see some more Brandon Bussey. Probably not, but I love that guy. Anyways, getting back into what this show's about, which is football. Some other uniform matchups. The old heads matchup of the week. Usually this is like an old school, like Big Ten or SEC, or last week it was Notre Dame, USC. No. Give me the South's oldest rivalry, UNC Virginia this week. I know what you're thinking. There's a word missing. That's the deep South's oldest rivalry. Is Georgia Auburn. The South's oldest rivalry is Carolina Virginia. I think that's about as classic ACC as you can get right there, is those two teams. So if you're 80-something years old, you're going to enjoy that. And you'll also be about the same age as one of the team's head coaches, which is pretty interesting.
And a third of three times the age of his girlfriend.
Exactly. whole bunch of teams with the same colors playing each other this week. Tonight, you have Missouri State, New Mexico State, North Texas and Charlotte tomorrow. I already touched on that game, but that's just going to be as much green as you could fathom. Alabama, South Carolina, Ohio and Eastern Michigan, another green game. UConn and Rice might be as far as uniform aesthetic goes, the cover your eyes game of the week. It's just all navy, which is tough. San Diego State and Fresno State and just a whole bunch of red. And then Ball State, Northern Illinois. As always, a decent bit of action. And now we get to what might be a bit depressing. I don't know if we're going to have a colorblind game this week.
Wisconsin, Oregon.
Oregon's wearing black.
I thought they were tie-dye green.
No, well, the numbers are tie-dye green, but the uniform itself is their black. It's their black uniform. Because I was like, oh yeah, that's easy, and then I thought about it. I was like, wait, no. So I don't know what we're going to do here, because we might get Baylor and Cincinnati, but Cincinnati usually, like, I assume that they're going to wear black. Because that's just usually what they do. There might be a decent bit of red, but I mean, it's going to be predominantly black, I assume. And then Stanford, Miami. Again, this is like the third week in a row where I'm saying maybe Miami if they decide to wear green, but they've been pretty heavy on the orange lately. So I don't know. We might not have a colorblind game of the week.
They might have to switch something up after Carson Beck threw 4 picks.
Yeah, true. It would probably behoove of them to wear some green.
Yeah.
But yeah, I looked through the schedule and I could not believe what I was seeing. I was very upset about it. But maybe
it's the most disappointing thing I've heard all week.
Maybe one of these teams will shock us. Maybe Cincy goes out in just all red, or Miami comes out in just a green suit. Who knows? But it's not looking promising, which is just devastating. But other than that, that's all I got.
Well, that about does it. And I want to say a shorter show, but it's about average length for us.
Yeah.
A segment short on the show. Usually there'd be an ECU preview, but like we mentioned off the top, there is a bye.
We had more time more wiggle room to operate.
Yeah, had a little free time here.
Exactly. I had 3 different exits of the show.
We kept it going. For everyone watching at home, thanks for the continued viewership. We appreciate it a lot. We enjoy doing this every week. Whether it's for, the 40 of y'all that have been concurrent pretty much this whole show, or if it's for 10 of you, we really don't care. We just enjoy talking football. We enjoy that you guys listen to us talk football. If you're on YouTube, please like, comment, subscribe. If you're on Twitch, subscribe. If you're on Twitter, give us a follow, retweet. When you're watching the show, feel free
there you go.
to use the chat as much as humanly possible. But that about does it here on the Down East Sports Network. That is week 9. We'll be back same time, 8 o'clock next week to talk about everything week 9, preview the Temple game. I'll give you a little cocktail party preview as I'll be in attendance Saturday at 3:30. That is the Down East Sports College Football Show. I'm Jacob. He's Paul Phillips. We'll see you next week. Take care, folks.
See y'all.